Olympic weightlifting is a sport. It is all about strength, it is also about power. Athletes in this sport lift heavy weights, they lift them overhead. This sport is recognized all over the world. It is a core event in the Summer Olympic Games. This makes it a very big deal. Olympic weightlifting is not bodybuilding. Bodybuilders focus on muscle size and appearance, weightlifters focus on how much they can lift. It is also different from powerlifting, which uses 3 other lifts: the squat, bench press, and deadlift. Olympic weightlifting is a pure display of explosive human strength and athletic ability. There are 2 main lifts in Olympic weightlifting. These are the snatch and the clean and jerk. These are the only lifts you will see in a competition. They are not simple movements that anyone can just walk up and perform correctly with heavy weight. They are very complex. They require strength from your entire body. Your legs, your back, your shoulders, and your arms all work together. These lifts also demand excellent coordination. You need good balance. You need flexibility, especially in the shoulders and hips. And most importantly, you need many hours of practice to master the technique. The goal in Olympic weightlifting is very clear. You must lift more weight than your competitors. The weight is on a barbell. You have to lift this barbell from the floor to a position overhead, and you must show that you have control of the weight. This is how success is measured. It is an objective sport. The amount of weight on the bar is a fact. You either lift it successfully according to the rules or you do not. There is no judging of artistic impression here. It is purely about the load lifted. To succeed, strength and technique are both absolutely key. You cannot have one without the other, and expect to lift big weights. If you are very strong but have bad technique, you will fail. The bar will not go where it needs to, or you will get injured. If you have perfect technique but lack basic strength, you will lift very little weight. These 2 things, strength and technique, must be developed together. This process takes a long time. It requires serious dedication and hard training. This is not a casual hobby if you want to be good, it is a serious athletic pursuit. The snatch is the first lift performed in a competition. It is known for its speed and grace. The snatch involves lifting the barbell from the floor to an overhead position in one single, continuous, and explosive motion. There is no stopping or pausing during the lift. The bar path, which is the imaginary line the bar travels, is very important for a successful lift. The speed generated by the lifter is incredible to witness. When a heavy snatch is done correctly, it is a beautiful display of power and precision. However, it is also a very difficult movement to learn and master. Many lifters find the snatch to be the more challenging of the 2 Olympic lifts because it demands more precision and flexibility. A wide grip on the barbell is used for this lift. Let's break down the snatch. The lifter sets up with their feet under the bar. Their back must be flat and tight. They grip the bar wide. The lift starts by pulling the bar off the floor using the legs. The lifter accelerates the bar upwards as it passes the knees. Then, there is a powerful explosion from the hips and legs like a jump. This drives the bar higher. The lifter then actively pulls themselves down under the rapidly ascending bar. They catch the bar in a deep overhead squat position with arms locked out. Finally, they must stand up from the squat, keeping the bar steady overhead. They must show control at the top. In an Olympic weightlifting competition, each athlete gets a limited number of chances. For the snatch, each lifter is allowed 3 attempts. After all lifters have completed their 3 snatch attempts, there is usually a short break. Then, the clean and jerk portion of the competition begins. For the clean and jerk, each lifter also gets 3 attempts. So in total, a lifter can make up to 6 lifts during a competition if they choose to take all of them. The strategy is typically to start with a weight they are confident they can lift. Then, they increase the weight for their subsequent attempts, aiming for their heaviest possible successful lift. For a lift to count, it must be a good lift. There are 3 referees who watch every single attempt very closely. At least 2 of the 3 referees must agree that the lift was successful. There are specific rules about form. For example, a press out is not allowed. This means if the lifter's elbows bend and then extend again while the bar is overhead, it is a no lift. The barbell must be held steady and motionless overhead. The lifter's feet must be in line and parallel. After completing the lift and showing control, the lifter must wait for the down signal from the chief referee before lowering the barbell back to the platform. When it comes to selecting weights, Lifters or their coaches declare their opening weight for each lift. If the lifter successfully makes the lift, they can choose to increase the weight for their next attempt. The minimum increase is usually 1 kilogram. If a lifter misses an attempt, they have 2 options for their next try. They can attempt the same weight again, or if they still have attempts remaining, they can choose to increase the weight. However, a lifter cannot decrease the weight once they have declared it for an attempt and the bar is loaded. This rule means that careful planning and strategy in choosing attempt weights are very important. To ensure fair competition, athletes compete in specific body weight categories. This means that lighter lifters compete against other lifters of similar body weight. Heavier lifters compete against other heavier lifters. This system prevents a very large athlete from having an unfair advantage over a much smaller one. There are multiple established weight categories for men. There are also multiple different weight categories for women. This structure levels the playing field and allows athletes of all sizes to compete for championships. Each category will have its own set of medals. This makes the sport accessible and competitive for a wider range of body types. In the Olympic Games, the format for determining the winner in each weight class is straightforward. The winner is the athlete who lifts the highest total weight. The total is calculated by adding the heaviest successful snatch to the heaviest successful clean and jerk. For instance, if a lifter snatches 150 kilograms and clean and jerks 180 kilograms, their total is 330 kilograms. The lifter with the highest total score in their respective bodyweight category wins the gold medal. This system rewards athletes who are proficient in both lifts, not just specialists in one or the other. Consistency and strength across both disciplines are essential for Olympic success. Sometimes 2 or more lifters in the same weight class might achieve the exact same total weight. When ties in the total occur, there are specific rules to break the tie. The most common tie-breaking rule states that the lifter with the lower official body weight at the weigh-in wins. This is because lifting the same amount of weight at a lighter body weight is considered a superior performance. If, in a very rare scenario, lifters have the same total and the exact same body weight, then the lifter who achieved the total first, meaning their final successful lift was completed earlier in the round of attempts than their competitors, is declared the winner. Weightlifting has a very long and distinguished history in the Olympic Games. It was included in the very first modern Olympic Games held in Athens, Greece, in 1896. In those early games, the events and rules were quite different from what they are today. For example, there were sometimes one-handed lifts, and weight classes were not as defined. Over the decades, the sport evolved, and the two-handed snatch and clean and jerk became the standard lifts. A significant development was the inclusion of women's weightlifting as an official medal sport in the 2000 Sydney Olympics. This was a major step forward for equality in the sport. The significance of Olympic weightlifting is profound. It is considered one of the purest tests of human strength, power, and athletic ability. The lifts require an incredible combination of raw physical force, explosive speed, precise technique, and unwavering mental toughness. It is one of the oldest forms of strength competition known to humankind. Its continued presence and popularity in the Olympic Games highlight its fundamental nature as a measure of athletic prowess. It demonstrates basic human movements, lifting objects from the ground to overhead, taken to the absolute extreme of performance. It is a captivating display of what the human body can achieve.